Hey, what is up, guys? This is the 6th round of the World Open tournament, which I played recently. My opponent, Gary Cheng, he's rated 1784 USCF, and I'm sitting at 1886, so let's jump straight into the game. As always, I open up my games with my typical d4, knight f6, knight f3, e6, c4, b6, so we have the Queen's Indian defense. Our Queen's Indian. Knight c3, bishop b4, okay. Right away pinning the knight to the king. e3, I'm pretty much ignoring this. At the moment I'm okay with the double pawns. So castles, bishop d3, bishop b7, and I castle. So we pretty much, both sides very Queen's Indian-like. They're trying to develop, play d6, knight d7, and queen e2. Maybe if I can somehow defend this knight. Sometimes queen c2 to put the bishop on d2, but let's see what I did. c5, and now knight b5. Kind of a sideline, this knight b5 move, trying to go to d6 and not letting this bishop take me on c3. Yeah, but let's see how I played this out, because I didn't play it the best way. So of course d6, black doesn't allow this knight to go to d6. So a3, bishop a5. The bishop is not trapped because he has this move c5. Otherwise this bishop would have been trapped. So now I didn't follow up this knight b5 move the right way. I pretty much came back. I mean, this is not the right way to go. My knight was not questioned. So if it was questioned, then b6 would be a weakness in black's position. It doesn't really make sense to push the knight forward and then bring it back. So I don't really know what was my thought process behind this move. Probably one thing that did come across was knight c3, knight a2, and then go b4 and trap this bishop. But I mean, as long as black can see this maneuver, I mean, I don't think it's difficult to see. As soon as I retreat, he just takes me. So that's what happened in the game. Knight c3, bishop takes, b takes, knight c6, and now e4. Just pretty much controlling all of the center. And at the same time getting this bishop out. My bishop doesn't really have, I mean, a4, bishop a3, it's like just biting on c5, and c5 is well defended. So my idea was to get the bishop out on this diagonal. e5. So now my opponent is trying to ask me if I want to close the center. If I do, I mean, it's really tough to play this, especially with this bishop. I mean, if I play d5, my bishop on d3 is pretty much a pawn, because it's not doing anything. So bishop g5, I pretty much ask black, like, do you want to take on d4 and pretty much ruin your pawn structure? And in the game, he did that. But let's see. h6, bishop h4. Takes. And in this position, I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, computer is saying to actually ruin your pawn structure, which I thought was okay for in the position, but let's see. So we both pretty much played this dynamically. So c takes, and my idea wasn't to take the knight. I mean, to take the pawn, because for the moment is defended. Simply drop the bishop back, and now my queen and knight is hitting d4. So now I'm like two attackers on d4, and I thought black, black just can't defend this anymore. So this was my idea. Play it a bit more dynamic, even though I'm isolating these pawns. I mean, the a3 and c4 pawns are isolated. This one is a weakness, but it's not an isolated pawn. I mean, these four are kind of grouped. So this is a weakness for now, but it's, I mean, if black can figure out how to attack e4, then yeah, it becomes a real issue. Knight e5. So attacking c4. So what's the best way to take on d4? If you take with the knight, well, you don't want to drop c4. That's why I took with the queen. And if they take my knight and ruin my king side, I'm fine. I mean, this bishop is here. It's going to target d6, drop back, and protect the king, and I'm happy. I mean, damaging your king side in this fashion is actually okay. It's actually preferred, because then you have a weakness a target to work with. Rook c8, so putting pressure on c4. Now black has two attackers on c4, so I have to pretty much react. What's the best way to defend these weaknesses? c4 and e4. Of course, knight d2. So knight d2 does a couple of things. Defends e4, puts another defender on e4, and at the same time defends c4. So I thought going into this dynamic position with these weaknesses, you had to see this move. I mean, knight d2 is a good resource. Otherwise, the c4 pawn will be dropping. I mean, bishop a6 is a nice move. I'll probably play bishop b3 and just put a lot of defenders on these pawns. So as long as you have pieces defending these weaknesses, I think it's hard for black to take advantage of it. So rook c5, which I thought it's a nice move. It pretty much locks his pawn down. I mean, not that I wanted to push it, but it's a nice rook lift. Now you're controlling the fourth rank, and yeah, maybe put the queen on c7, bring the other rook, things like that. f4, attacking the knight, and my opponent played knight g6. And now, do you retreat, or do you double white's pawns? Because if they take with the queen, I was ready to take with my queen. Pretty much destroy his king side. Yeah, the best is to actually take on f6. Just to double check. Yeah, taking. If you retreat, bishop g3 looks kind of silly. Bishop f2, you're blocking your rook, and bishop e1 is very passive. So, I mean, bishop g3 has an idea. Bishop g3, maybe f5, but then the knight can retreat, so d6 is not really a target, and this rook is well protecting e5. So bishop g3, it's like, it's not really, I'm not really targeting d6, so to speak. So I took on f6, queen takes, g takes. Bishop d3, so pretty much getting away of this rook, because if I keep the bishop on c2, then maybe b5 is a move, things like that, you know? I can take on b5, my bishop drops. So I thought getting away from this pin, I mean, my pawn would be pinned to my bishop, is nice. So I did that. Rook e8, pressurizing e4, so, but now e4 is already defended. The knight defends it and the bishop. So I don't really have to react to this. So that's why I play g3. Now my rook is free. Because earlier it had to defend f4. And pushing f5, I mean, it's not great. Why? Because the knight goes to e5, and now the knight is very strong. Eyeing the bishop, eyeing the pawn, things like that. So f5 is not really a good way to free up this rook. I thought g3 is a good move. So I play g3, knight f8, and now it turns out, in my evaluation of the position, black has more weaknesses. I mean, weaknesses that can be targeted down the future. Like, he has all these weaknesses. So he has 3 sets of weaknesses. White only has to worry about a3 and c4, which are really well protected. And if you look at the position, are these 3 pawns defended by any of black's pieces? No. I mean, at the moment, no. Is c4 well defended, and e4 and a3? Yes. All of these are weaknesses for white, but they're well defended. And meanwhile, in black's position, these are weaknesses, but none of them are defended. So that's kind of why, even though both sides have pretty much identical weaknesses, provided that white's defending them, I would say black has more issues to worry about. So knight f8. And the computer is saying 0-0. So funny enough, with that said, the computer still manages to hold the position, which is crazy. a4. I mean, knight b3 was nice, as suggested by the computer, but I played a4. My idea was to play a5, break up the position, bring the other rook, rook fb8, and just pretty much play on the queen side. And I wanted to keep these pawns where they are. That was kind of my idea. So a4, knight d7, rook fe8. Why did I play this move? Let's see. I mean, it is the best move. Rook fe8. Maybe to free up this knight. I wanted this knight to maneuver to d4, and I didn't want to drop e4, so maybe I probably played this move. That was the reasoning. Rook fd8, fine. And now rook h5. Rook fd8, rook h5. So there is something in the position. Let's see if you guys can figure it out. I'll give you guys a few seconds, or feel free to pause the video. So the rook moved to h5. What can we do? It kind of looks almost trapped, but I thought I couldn't really do much against this rook. I mean, I can push a pawn, but he moves forward or he goes back, and now I made my king side more weak. But there is a nice move. What's the nice move? e5. Because now this rook cannot swing over to c5 or a5. I mean, these are the safe squares. And after, let's go with the best moves. Let's say you took on f5. Now bishop e2. Where is this rook going? If you go to f5, bishop g5 is a skewer. So you're dropping a piece, so you can't go to f5. If you move forward, again, same problem. You get forked. So I didn't see this in the game. Otherwise, that would have been the game, pretty much. So rook h5 and e5 was missed. I should have seen these moves. I mean, e5, bishop e2 is not in... I mean, you have to see that this knight is hanging too, and you have this fork. So that's what I missed. So I played bishop e2. If I had seen e5, that would have been nice. It would have been nice. So the rook swings back. Bishop g4 now. So I saw this in the game, but I just didn't see it early. I mean, didn't see it after e5 to, yeah, trap the rook on h5. Bishop g5, knight b8. I mean, the knight after rook c5 couldn't go to, after bishop g4 couldn't go to c5, so, I mean, the knight was... Maybe don't move the knight to b8. I think keep the knight where it is and maybe play like rook e7 or something. Yeah, rook e7 is fine. And if I take the knight, that's no good. I mean, black is better in this position. The knight has to stay on d2, very drawish. And yeah, if the position opens up, I think black is doing okay. But let's go back. So my opponent played knight b8. Now a5. So just continuing with this plan. Whenever you have a plan, you want to continue it. You played a4 to play a5, so that's what I did. Knight c6. And I was okay to drop this pawn, actually, because I figured I'll just win it back if the rooks get traded, or if they take like this, I'll just bring the other rook. I mean, activity matters. Let's see if this was even the right plan or a good plan. Yeah, I mean, it's plus 0.1. So even though you're down a pawn, that's a weakness, that's a weakness. I mean, all of black's pawns are weakened, so we can't really say black is up a true pawn. So let's just go back. In the game, he played knight c6, and now it's +1. Yeah, because this is nice, and I saw this. I think my opponent, yeah, I'm confident that he missed this. So AB, and now rook b1. I mean, even there was a slight difference between moving this rook. Yeah, because you want to keep this pawn well defended after this knight moves. So that's why I played rook a b1 to ib6. And now, how do you defend b6? Well, there is no way. My opponent played b5. I mean, he figured maybe trade rooks, so yeah, he just played b4, rook takes. And if I take with the pawn, I mean, he can move forward and kind of eye b5, so I thought that's not really ideal for me. I mean, now I have to go passive, and I can defend everything. So if I take like this, after knight e4, computers. I mean, computers find insane resources. So here, and if take, can you take on e4? What's wrong with this? Takes, take. Oh, just simple b6. Okay, so, somewhat of a similar thing that's happened in the game, but let's go back. So I played rook takes, so trading a pair of rooks, knight d4, rook b1. Okay, just pretty much defending everything. Was that the best move? Wow. Knight c4 was the way to go. Rook b1. I mean, it's still winning. +2 versus +3. And now black has to... Can you not take? Oh, wow. So I keep missing these forks with my light square bishop. I mean, you're just pretty much forking. So that was a nice way to play. But I missed knight c4. Okay, rook b1. Bishop takes. And now this is winning. Yeah, knight takes. I mean, rook b5 was fine. Even taking the bishop was fine. I mean, there are many ways to win this, because I have a very strong pass pawn. So in the game I played knight b4. Bishop f5, takes. And now b6, rook b8, knight e4. I mean, targeting f6, d6 is a weakness. The knight's defending it, but yeah, with this pass pawn, I mean, it's winning. So knight e7. But still, there are ways to mess this up. For example, this is one way to mess it up. If you take on d6. Why? Because now you're dropping b6. Now this is pretty much dead. It's gonna be 3 against 3, and black is gonna win b6. And now what? How do you win this? There's not a good way to win this. You can still push to win this because these are weaknesses, but now you may... I mean, black has drawing chances, so you don't want to do this. That's why in the game after knight e7, you have to play b7. Now it's winning. So taking on d6 is no good, so you have to play b7. My opponent played king g7, and now you pretty much simply take on d6. After knight d6, knight c6 was played. Rook c4, knight d8 to try to win b7, but after rook c8, it's pretty much over. you either lose a piece or you're just gonna be down in exchange. So like if you take the pawn with the knight, I take. Oh, it's even better. I can check you like this to not lose this piece after winning your rook. I mean, the king has to move, and now I'm pretty much up a full rook. So it's either two. It's two cases. So I'm gonna be up a full rook, or we can play this game. I'm up a knight versus rook, and three healthy pawns against weaknesses. Should be easy to win. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed and got something out of this game. I thought it had a good and instructive endgame. So yeah, take care.